Hey, everybody. Welcome to another night of Bucs Live. I'm Rick Hughes. This is David Whitescarver, and we're here to talk Bucs. It's going to be a fun night. Lots to unpack, lots to unload. I hear y'all might be a little bit upset with Todd Bowles. Let's talk about that. It's going to be an interesting night. Lots of fun right here on Bucs Report, right here on Bucs Live, right here on 102.9 Broad Street South Radio, 102.9 FM, The Game, and on Sports Talk Florida. We're all over the place. We're rocking. It's Bucs Live.
Are you ready?
Get ready. It's time for Bucs Live.
Bucs Live.
Bucs Live.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers talk with Rick Hughes and David Whitescarver.
This is
Bucs Live.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, guys. Lots to talk about. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing fantabulous. And yourself, Rick?
Doing awesome. Doing awesome. Ready for a fun night. What'd you have for dinner?
I had pulled pork, mashed potatoes with gravy, and broccoli.
Very nice. Very nice. It's we got all the usual shenanigans tonight. We got the meme grinder. We've got stupid stuff Bucs fans say. We've got all kinds of stuff. What's cooking in the South? It's all gonna go on. We have Slick and AJ from the Aftermath. They are awesome. We had a blast on their show last night. It was a whole lot of fun. I haven't had that much fun on a show in a while. So it's guys, we got a whole lot going on. Just to kind of bring it up, I hear some folks maybe a little bit unhappy with Todd Bowles. That's a rumor. Dave, how you feeling about Coach Bowles?
Why are you calling timeout instead of the 10-second runoff?
Okay, so you don't agree with that. Give me a more general, not just one thing. Give me how you feeling about Coach Bowles?
Well, he's got two hands tied behind his back.
That's easy for you to say. And now for English-speaking friends.
Let's start this over. Todd Bowles has both hands tied behind his back this season as far as the cards he's been dealt. So he's in a pretty much no-win situation in a similar vein to the way he was last year.
Yeah.
For different reasons.
I absolutely agree. And I want to get further into that. I'm going to wait till Slick and AJ get here. AJ should be here in about 10 minutes or so. I want to get deeper into how Todd Bowles really has his hands tied behind his back, how it's kind of almost a little bit not fair. Hey, by the way, Christopher Cole, how you doing tonight? What'd you have for dinner? But there's some very unfair. It really is crazy, and we got into it a little bit last night. I brought up a little bit of the numbers that we're going to get into, and it might surprise some of you. And I want y'all to stick around for this. I also want you to consider who you think would be a good coach replacement. And we're going to go over some possibilities as far as coaching replacements. I think I think it's going to be a pretty fascinating thing. We have a list here that was that came from online, and I want to talk about it. It's I think fascinating. And yeah, so
Coach Bowles is a very good value.
Yeah, I personally don't care about the value on coaches. I don't care what they're paying coaches. And it always cracks me up when people say things like, oh, my God, this team's paying their last two coaches. I don't care. It makes no difference. I guarantee the organization, that's a pittance to them. It really is a pittance to them. So, I just don't see it as I don't see that as being big news. I mean, I'm not going to be a baby about it, and we'll get to that in just a little bit, Dave. Yeah, I just don't think I don't think it matters. Yeah, you're paying him a small amount of money, and there might be a reason behind that. Hopefully, the dude will even stop by. There's possibility that he's
Well, we
going
may
to
get
stop
into
by.
it later in the show, but maybe a little prequel is that he's not set up to win. You're paying for winning the Super Bowl and having 2.5 great years with Tom Brady. And now it's time to pay the piper. And that means you don't have the horses, but the coach gets to coach anyway.
Right, and it's not like a typical handoff on a team. This was sort of thrown in his lap late. It was like, oh, by the way, Tom Brady is going to be the quarterback. And on the same day, they call Todd Bowles when he's just landed in Charlotte. He was going to go to a Charlotte, what are they called? The Hornets. He was going to go to a Charlotte Hornets game. He had courtside tickets for the Charlotte Hornets game. And he gets a phone call that says, hey, can you come back? We're going to have a press conference. You're the new coach.
Congratulations.
Like, right. And I mean, this is something he wasn't completely, I'm sure, prepared for. That kind of came out of left field all of a sudden. 1 minute you can imagine just getting that phone call. I mean, that's a pretty crazy phone call. By the way, you're head coach now, huh?
I never did buy into the reasoning offered as to why he was named a head coach.
No, and I honestly believe, especially now, I think I had this right at the time. I genuinely believe that what happened is Tom Brady said, I'm willing to come back, but not with Bruce Arians. And Bruce said, well, then I'll get out of your way. Or Tom said, I'm willing to come back if we do these certain things. And he had these particular, hold on. Let's add AJ right in here. Let's not even give him a chance to get settled in his chair. Hold on. Let me get this.
Todd Bowles' favorite fan. It's AJ.
Let me get this all looking pretty. Here we go.
Hey, how are you two gents doing tonight?
Wonderful.
Thank you.
So I was just explaining the process of how Bowles became head coach. And my thoughts are that it was Brady goes to Arians and says, I'm willing to come back, but there's some things that I want to do. And he wanted more control. And Arians said, yeah, no, I'm not, I'm out. I'll step out of the way. Then Tom, you can do whatever you want. And Todd, here you go. And, so Todd Bowles comes in. It's late. It's late in the offseason. He doesn't get to bring in his coordinator. He doesn't get to do anything. They're cash strapped. It's a big mess. He comes into this mess. Brady's getting divorced, doesn't want to be there all the time. Doesn't want to practice on Wednesdays, wants to be able to go off to Robert Kraft's. I don't remember what he was doing. But, birthday party, I don't know what, bar mitzvah, I don't know what he was doing.
He wasn't at $1 place, that's for sure.
Right. And to me, it's when you add it all up, yeah, I think Bowles got dealt a bad hand. Now, we discussed last night, I brought this up with you, AJ, with you and Slick, how the salary cap, and I want everybody to do the thinking about what I'm saying here. The salary cap is $248 million for every team. The Bucs have $75 million in dead cap space. That means take 33.4, thank you, David, 33.4% of the salary cap for the team and get rid of it. The Bucs have to start $75 million, have to fit their entire roster, $75 million less than everybody else. Oh, but I'm not done. A little other fact came up today as I was looking through things. When the year started, the Buccaneers were $56 million over the cap. So now think. They had to get to fundamentally, they had to not only do you not have $75 million for those players, you also have to get rid of $56 million worth of players. All right, Dave, what's 78 plus 56?
That would be 2. Oops, I hit it wrong. 78 plus 56. 131 divided by
131 million dollars
divided by 248, right?
Well, yeah, sure, yes.
52.8 is already accounted for.
The Buccaneers had less than half what every other team had. Mm-hmm. Now, when you're sitting here and you're watching, the secondary get burned.
Keyshawn Vaughn. You're watching Keyshawn Vaughn.
when you're watching the secondary get burned, understand, what did this team have to do? When you guys are all mad saying Jason Light sucks because Jordan Whitehead's gone, Sean Murphy Bunting is gone, Mike Edwards is gone, all these guys are gone. Listen, most teams, you don't have to play the same guys in every situation, right? You can substitute in, this guy's better in this, in the nickel package, this guy's better for this guy's better for that. They're gone. Those guys are gone. Todd Bowles has basically one group of guys and says, you got to do it all. And then there's a big drop-off when you get to who's second. And everybody's going, Jason Light sucks for getting rid of him. He had no choice. And before you get
that
mad,
Lombardi looks sweet.
It does. Before you get mad and say, well, it's Jason Light who put us in this situation. Yes, and thank you. Yes, and thank you. Okay? You want to know how fortunate it is? I mean, stop and ask yourself, how fortunate are we that we got to experience what we did? Now, Dave and I said repeatedly on our show during the Brady years, you guys, I don't know why you're complaining. These are the golden years. These are the golden years.
It's not going to get better than this.
We have a second Super Bowl. I want you to look at something. This is how many teams have won how many Super Bowls. Look at the Bucs. They've got 2. There's not a lot.
You need to put Tom Brady on the top of that list.
Now I want to show y'all something. And this is what I really want to dig in while you're bitching and complaining that, our secondary isn't doing so well. Okay? I want you all to let this soak in, what I'm about to show you. All of these teams, and some of these are old teams around long before the Buccaneers. All of these teams have never won a Super Bowl. Never won a Super Bowl. All of them. Think of how long the Browns, the Lions, these are teams that have been around for a very long time. Okay, and get this, guys. These teams have never even been to a Super Bowl.
That's a very sad Texan.
Yeah.
Okay, they have never even been to the Super Bowl. So while you're bitching about our secondary, how do you think those other teams feel? Do you think they'd trade? 1 great year, 2 really good years, 1 Super Bowl followed by 2 division championships. Do you think they would trade what we've done for what they've done over the last 20 years?
And there's only 2 teams who have played in more than 1 Super Bowl that are undefeated. Can you name them?
Well, yes, I can, Dave.
The Ravens.
And
we have a winner.
And the Bucs.
That's
and
correct.
The They're both 2-0.
I mean, and people are complaining, and they were complaining right after the Super Bowl. People identifying as Bucs fans were complaining.
Oh yeah, well, guys, we know this. Again, you can't take every Bucs fan serious because when Brady came down,
They make for good material.
Yeah, a third of them. Yeah, they're just funny, and and we have to be honest. There are a lot of people out there who are Buck fans who don't understand the game of football as we do. You both just broke things down from a business standpoint. So when people talk about Jason Light, I don't understand that. Jason Light is, like you said, he can only do so much with what he has financially. That's a hell of a stretch. And what he has done, even under when Brady was here, how he reconstructed contracts just to keep people here.
We almost won a third Super Bowl, and we almost won 2 in a row if it weren't for AB and his little meltdown. Okay. Well,
that was planned. That's just AB. This is Antonio Brown. This is who he is, and that is what he does.
That's right.
No doubt. But then again, he played a big part in that Super Bowl victory. So
I'm gonna say yes and no. The reason why I say no, because he wasn't there. He wasn't really a factor in New Orleans. He wasn't there during the Green Bay Packers game. So I won't go that far, but he was the icing on the cake. I will say that his presence was there, but we have to be real. Like you was saying yesterday, our defense was spectacular.
Who coached them?
Arians and Bowles.
Arians didn't touch the defense, dude. Come on.
He didn't have to touch the defense, but as a coach, Arians was the man of everything.
He didn't touch the defense.
He didn't have to touch the defense. I agree with you. But what he did, he kept both sides, offense and defense, accountable. I always go back to the Fournette thing. I love how he said, you can be here or you can't. You have to have that mentality where we want you here, but if
you're going to earn it,
as you say, bitch about things, then you don't need to be here. We will move on without you. Some players need to understand that it is a privilege just to be on a team. And that is why we loved Arians, because he called people out.
We can't do that now, AJ. We can't. We're already so thin out on the roster. What do you want Bulls to say? Oh, if you don't want to be here, go.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes, because you know why? The NFL is always about the next man up. And that's why we have stars that come out of nowhere. That's why
my God. That's a great bumper sticker or a t-shirt.
No, it's a
That's why we have the USFXL.
No, it's a reality. It's a reality. There are a lot of people. Look, I think that we get stuck on you can't always judge somebody just because of what draft pick they were or what hype it is, because we've seen.
I'm not that guy.
I know you're not. I'm just saying certain narratives are, well, he was a first round, he should be good. Hell, Sanchez was a first round, and we know he was some shit. He was garbage. It's just, I just think of this. I'm not mad at Bowles last year. Last year, Rick, you were completely right. He was put in a bad situation, which is something that I would love to see what Brady and Aaron talk about in the next 10 years. Hopefully Arians is still around, but we would love to have that story, because that is a big mystery. What happened to where
you don't think he's been put in a bad situation this year?
No, and this is why I say that, because
careful, I got numbers.
No, I'm not even talking about numbers. I got numbers.
I got
too.
Spreadsheets.
I
manipulate numbers.
I got numbers too. And this boils down to the philosophy and mindset of a coach. His philosophy does not work with what he wants to have. He chose Canales. Now, I don't want to hear about, look at what he had to work with. He
got stuck with him.
He didn't get stuck with. He didn't get stuck with him.
He interviewed 11 people before him.
And that means he picked. If that's the case, that is still on him.
No, they said no because there was no cap room and they couldn't get anybody.
That means you keep looking, but at the same time, it's his philosophy. What is his philosophy? He likes to run the ball and have a solid defense.
Yeah, do what they do in Seattle. Seems
right. But here's the issue, because you said this, and to reinforce what you said, we have a line that is designed to pass protect. Yeah. So you don't have the running get backs either.
Right. So it's going to take a couple of years. Yeah.
Right.
So it's
right. But we don't have a couple. He don't have a couple of years.
I don't know about that.
Okay. But peep this. You have Evans and Godwin. You have Trey Palmer with that elite speed. You have Otten, who could, I'm not saying he's a great tight end. He could be average at least.
You know, Trey Palmer was graded out second to worst on the team in this last game.
Yeah, I get that, but I don't. But again, I'm not worried about that. He also wasn't utilized correct either. You got to understand this. Bowles chose this. He chose this philosophy that doesn't work with what he has. If it'd been different if they had a line that was built for the run, it'd be different if they had running backs that actually were worth a damn. Because David,
I think what he was doing was saying we can't go get the line to do the things we want. We are in a situation. We can't go get the quarterback of our dreams. So we've got to be doing this on a shoestring budget. Right. So what's the best thing to do? Ball control, try to just sort of, for lack of a better way to put it, keep the other team's offense off the field, try to survive as best you can. That's the philosophy.
Well, and that's Bill Parcells football.
Right, but that's a piss poor philosophy because this is a passing league. You have two receivers that are go-getters.
It works good in Seattle.
Right, but Seattle also had a better coach in Pete Carroll as well. My whole issue is Evans and Godwin were there. They are there for you. You get these guys open. Pass happy league. Again, Canales, Bowles chose Canales, but again, you chose who's
going to be your quarterback in that dream scenario? That passing all the time quarterback. Who is it?
No. I think Baker is just fine. Here's the issue. They're not doing what me and you said that he should do. We want to see more rollouts. We want to see more passes to the horizontal. They're not doing that enough yet, Rick. You said this.
I don't disagree with that, but look what happened this week. The offense is starting to come together. That was against the number 10 or 11 rush defense.
I want to tank against C.J. Stroud, the next one.
Yeah, but then that goes. But then when you say that falls back on Bowles' responsibility of failing the defense. I know what you're saying. He doesn't have.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that's why people are pissed. That's why I was frustrated because I'm like, damn, the offense is sort of doing their part a lot better. This was Bowles' time to shut them down, get more aggressive. The issue that I have with Bowles, he doesn't. Again, he has to be his situational intelligence sometimes is not there. You have to know with Stroud, we don't like you said, we don't have a consistent pass rush. Our secondary is not necessarily really good at zone coverage.
I felt exactly like you feel, AJ, until I looked into the numbers and kept realizing how thin this roster is and realizing situation intelligence is great if you have a normal roster.
Right.
If you're not literally cutting your roster in half, okay, and then saying you've got to go out and perform, well, you can't perform like a normal roster. And you're sitting here saying they should do the normal things that, they should do this, they should do that. They should have the players for all that, but they don't. And, I mean, think about it. $120 million. 120.
Yeah, but I like what KG Live said. We all realize the Bucs are under salary cap constraints. However, they have enough talent to win in a very bad division. Ultimately, it comes down to coaching or lack thereof. He's 100% correct.
I don't think he is.
What coach did you want to get in the offseason to replace Todd Bowles?
We're going to go there. Hold on. We're going to go there. Hold on. We'll hold off on that. I want to wait till the question there. Yeah, I know.
Dave, I like Dave. Dave is that guy where he hits you with that look.
No, I know. It's a great question. I got a graphic for it for that. Cool. It's got some other names.
And I'll keep that in mind because there was some names floating around online today, and I was like, I don't know about that.
Well, I don't want to bring up some of them.
Yeah, my thing is, again, with the Bowles situation, I know what you're saying, but that's not going to be an excuse because also his track record proves his philosophy is not working.
With the Jets, Pete Carroll didn't work out with the Jets, okay?
Hey, that's fine.
Brett Favre didn't work out with the Jets. Okay, but
that's excuses again. First year, 2015, 10-6, then 4-11, 5-11, 4-12. You got to do some kind of adjustment. He didn't do that. His track record shows that. As a coordinator, he does a fantastic job.
But why are you ignoring the Jets' track record and the organization as a whole's track record? Why are you ignoring that? But then saying you got to hold Bowles accountable for his track record?
Because if that's the case, then why has Bowles not learned from his mistake? He's doing the same thing over again. That
He is not. He doesn't have a roster to
We
do
do
the
really-
things you're wanting. Sean Murphy Bunting's not here. Mike Edwards is not here.
You got to do what
Jordan
Steve
Whitehead's
Spurrier
not
says. Whoever's on your team, you got to coach them up.
Well,
Exactly.
yeah, and they're doing their best with that. But come on, man, when you got a crap roster,
Look.
let's be honest, but they had to cut all the guys I just mentioned.
But Sean
Jordan
Murphy is
Whitehead.
not a Pro Bowl caliber corner.
I'm not saying that. He's there during certain situations. They play better in certain situations.
I get you.
But they're not there.
He's better at depth, and I'll give you, he could be a depth guy at least. Now, but again, this is what I'm saying though. You can't tell me, because sometimes one man's trash is one man's treasure. I guarantee you other coaches would come in and say, no, this is what we could do with this person, and this is what we can do with that.
Do you honestly think the Bucs wouldn't have paid Mike Edwards, Jordan Whitehead, and Sean Murphy Bunting if they could?
I would say this. Out of all those three people you mentioned, I think Edwards and Whitehead would have stayed. Sean Murphy could have still kicked rocks. He was good, but he was serviceable. But
we could use serviceable.
We have serviceable.
No, we don't. Not in every situation.
No, but they're putting them in bad situations. This is how I look at it. Until I can't fear something until it happens. Now, let's say this: if the Bucs, every time they got in like a man coverage, we were getting beat for like 50-yard bombs, then I could say, you know what? Maybe I see why Bowles doesn't do that.
But you're thinking man coverage solves everything. I mean,
No,
it doesn't. You can't run it all the time.
No, it doesn't solve everything, but it will help in this department. This is now, hear me out. And Dave,
you've got a slow guy trying to cover.
Well, no, it ain't even that. But we all know this. What is the beauty of man coverage and jamming? You disrupt timing between the receiver and his quarterback.
And the key is what? When you do that, you've got to get somebody on the quarterback.
And I think that our defense at this point right now, if you do that, if we have the secondary has to help the front line. I do believe that if that happens, the pass rush will be there more, because then that means this team.
They
magically, because if the quarterback has to take that one extra look too long, that's when Shaq can get there or can't see who I think is on the rise, which is a good thing. Yeah. I think that will happen. And I think guys like Yaya will get more acclimated to the game. And that's what I'm saying. But when the secondary does the pass rush, because if you look at it, sometimes when we are in zone coverage, we will almost get to the quarterback, but then when they throw it, the guy is wide open.
And this is the problem with having the thin roster. Stop and do the math right now. You don't have anybody back there that can cover in that situation, and you can't bring fresh legs in. You can't do anything. You're screwed. Sometimes fresh legs. See, and this is where. When I used to help people coach defense, my main thing is I want you to know the basics first. If you get beat in this coverage and man, because I think man is the easiest coverage to grasp. It's you just got to beat your man or you beat him. Sometimes I think Bowles' scheme can be a little too complex, where it's like, hey, sometimes the disguises aren't working because they see it, they pick it up. Sometimes it's okay to just be aggressive, even if they think they know what's going to happen, because then you have to stop it first. That's what happens to the Bucs defense all the time, especially on third down. You and I, we all know what's going to happen. We go, oh God, the middle is going to be open. And what happens? The middle is wide open. So this is why I want Bowles to take that chance, because I think the Glazers wouldn't care if you have exhausted every ounce of resources and decisions. I can live with that. If Bowles were to come out and we played man half the time, and we got scored on those times, then I would say I owe Rick an apology. This is why he's doing this. I owe Bowles an apology. But Bowles is acting on a fear of something that hasn't happened yet. Well,
well, if we play this position, I don't want my player to get burned, and I don't want this
Not
to
going to
happen.
fall for a banana.
Yeah, we're gonna fall, and we're gonna take it one day at a time because we did good at practice. It was nice in practice. It was nice.
Hey, they look great in practice. They had a great week of practice
It's
before that
always a
Texas
great
game.
week of practice, and then teams, rookie quarterbacks shred us like it was practice.
We
Sprout
did practice well. They practiced hard. Everything looked like it clicked in practice this week. We had 3 good days.
Yeah, see, in practice.
Exactly what he said.
And Sprout was passing on us like it was practice. That is why I love the philosophy of jamming, because it helps an average pass rush become at least a little above average at times. That's why the Legion of Boom was.
But it also gets you burned at times.
It's a crapshoot. Don't get it twisted. But what I would rather happen is, because think about it. Time is Bowles' weakness in that scheme, because by the fourth quarter, our defense is drained, because they'll get a few stops here and there, but by the fourth quarter, they're tired. They're like, oh my God, I can't be out here any longer in this coverage. But that's why.
But this is okay. Let me show you.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, I wish Slick was here, but we're at 9:30. He's not here yet. I'm gonna have to start pressing buttons and moving forward. The thing is this. All right. Like I saw this picture was posted online.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And this was an example of what you're talking about why are they not pressing? Okay?
That was me. That was me, Rick.
Dude.
That was me, Rick. Hey, look, and I want, you know what, Rick? I'm gonna give you and Dave the floor, because I want all of your reasons why, in your opinion, this was the right call. And I'm gonna sit and I want to hear this, because you two gentlemen, you say things that can sometimes persuade me. So I want to listen.
How many minutes? How much time is left on the clock?
It is 10 seconds.
Okay, what are you defending against? You're defending the end zone. That's all you're wanting to do, is defend the end zone. Keep them in front of you is the phrase you always say. Keep them in front of you is the phrase, right? You don't want to hit them off the line and let them break behind you. And then God forbid, especially knowing that, oh my God, what's his name? Who got burned on the play?
Carlton Davis.
Yeah, Carlton Davis is
have
slow.
to narrow it down.
Carlton Davis is slow, okay? That he's not a speedster. You don't want to put him in a situation where he's trying to keep up with a guy, okay? You don't want to put him in that situation. You're defending to keep him in front of you. That's it. Let him catch it in front of you. That's okay. The problem is not that they were in this formation. The problem is that he still let him get behind him. That's where the problem came in. Okay? It's not the formation. It's not what they were doing. That's the right formation. Let him catch the ball at the 5. For the love of God, please catch the ball at the 5, because then the game is over.
I want to interject something here.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking at the schedule and the results of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In week 4, they gave up 9 points to New Orleans. In week 6, they gave up 20 to Detroit, which is more than respectable. They gave up 16 to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Typically in the NFL, you don't complain if your team's defense holds the opponent under 20 points.
Correct.
Buffalo, 24. I'll take it. Most people walking into Buffalo will take it.
Yeah.
Then the wheels fell off against Houston.
Yes, sir.
I mean, up to this point, it was like, well, it's the offense that's the problem. It's not the defense. Now all of a sudden, it's the defense.
Suddenly, Bowles forgot how to coach the defense. Suddenly,
so what's changed? I mean, that's a pretty good run. 1, 2, 3.
Had a bad game.
That's like, that's a month worth of games where the defense played pretty well.
Oh, no.
He had a bad game.
Oh, absolutely. But here's now, and I'm glad that you simplified it that way, but it wasn't as if those games, this defense can be dominant. In those earlier games, you are correct. When we played the Saints, we were dominant too. The Detroit game, we kind of let it slip, but that was due to the offense. I will give you that. But I want to go back to that coverage that you're talking about. Again, this is where situational intelligence comes in. Carlton Davis, as you said already, he is not good enough to recover, but he is also strong enough to take out that receiver. Dell is a good receiver, but he's not like an elite or strong guy.
I don't agree. He's a rookie, but this
You know what jumped out at me on that graphic?
Yeah.
What?
10 seconds. If you
Right.
don't call a timeout, it's 0.
Oh, that's funny. You don't know that at that point. You don't know that. And I'll give Bulls a little bit of slack for not letting the 10-second run off. I wish he did? No, in hindsight, I agree with you. Do I wish he had let it run off? Yes, I do. I think the right thing to do would have been to let it run off. I don't agree with what he did there. But
again, but that comes back to, it's too many times that he does that. That's what pisses me and certain fans off. But again, this is why I didn't like that coverage, because you got guys that can't do that. Carlton got beat also because he just mentally, that's not his thing. And
guess what? They couldn't put the right guys in there on that play.
No, but
why? Because they're not on the roster anymore.
Look, if you jam on that situation, this is what's going to have to happen. 10 seconds. If they do it right, CJ Sprout is going to have to take that wrong look, because a lot of people also don't realize when Shaq spent in, if he had another second, he would have gotten free and he would have chased CJ out the pocket. And more than likely, CJ would have either had to do like a trick throw to somehow get it in the end zone, or he would have tried to run it.
So you're sure we would have gotten pressure all of a sudden when we hadn't been getting pressure?
No, they were getting some pressure, but Sprout just threw the ball so quick. And here's another issue that I tell people.
Slick, hurry up, Slick. Come on.
And I want to ask you both this. Here's another thing that this is why I think it's a bad idea.
He seemed
if I run into the shelf, let's say the receiver does a quick, immediate stop, and now he catches it. It's going to be hard for that corner to defend that. And let's say if the corner tries to swat the ball over him in this passing league, them refs can't wait to throw a flag, and that's an interference. And now you put them at the 1. I know people will say I'd rather have that, but with this Bucs defense, I don't trust it, because knowing Bowles, he would have had them back up, the corners back up into the end zone anyway. How you doing, Slick? What's up?
Coach.
Just got in, had a little look at the free agents that we lost, and they're all over $3 million a piece. So they were too expensive for the Buccaneers to bring back for sure.
Correct, and that's my point. That's why this defense, we have no depth. You're keeping the guys out there in the wrong situation. Slick, help me, brother.
My pick is Twitter famous. Okay. That was me, Slick.
Here we go. This is what
that was me. Slick, that's my drawing. My drawing
guess what?
Twitter.
AJ, I was trying to leave that out. Here's the deal. This I have down as the very first part of guess what?
Stupid Bucs fans say.
Number 1, dude. You're number 1. All right?
I can be number 1. I will die on that hill. You know why? Because I have seen too many times zone. It like Slick, you can attest to this. If you are not intelligent, if you don't have the intelligence or the physical capabilities to recover from that, it's a crapshoot either way.
10 seconds left. How many coaches do you think are going to run press coverage in this situation?
None.
0.
So there's no need for it unless you're playing. It depends on. Can you bring it up a sec?
Yeah.
So you got empty. So there's no run threat. 0 run threat. You got trips left. You got trips to the right, and then at the top of your screen you got doubles. This is a pure passing play. Obviously, there's no trickery that's going to come out of this. The most you could do is maybe press the person in the middle in that bunch set on the bottom of your screen. But other than that, I'd probably leave it alone. And that's not the guy who gets it. That guy has an in-breaking route. It's the guy that's literally by the 10 marker. He's going to run, and then he's going to bend. He's basically running a simple post, and he starts to bend in. Colton Davis doesn't pick it up, and that's why he should have been sticking to his inside hip and just followed it all the way. It is man coverage. That's all you have to do. You don't have to play zone. Just play man coverage. Let him
You
come.
don't have to play press. You're playing man.
Yeah, you just play man deep, as if you're a man safety. You're a safety, and you got because a lot of people don't realize in man concepts. A lot of the time, it's the safety that picks up the slots and stuff like that. If they go deep, if they're intermediate, then they get picked up by the backers. So, in this case, all Carlton Davis is doing is playing man safety. It's
simple.
You got to
It's
keep the
simple
guy in front of
coverage.
you. You keep the guy in front of you.
Yeah,
That's the thing. You're literally
and if he looks like he's
line.
going to get the ball, you beat, just fall on top of him and get the flag, and they still have to execute the next play. They still have to execute.
They'll call it on the last play of the game, right? If
They call it on the last play of the game,
right?
And I'm sure but that's just my philosophy. I would call that. I maybe play the corners a little bit further down by about 2 yards, but not much more than that.
Right.
Yeah. Again, at that point, guys, and then here's another thing. The play before that is another reason why I don't do cushion. That was another reason. Every time we do cushion, we get beat bad, and it's always. I've
explained to you what the issue is here. We don't.
I think we gave up how many plays did it take them to get up the field?
It took 2 plays, and they were deep passes.
It was more than that. It was more than that.
Let me have a look.
It was three.
Let Daddy work this out.
It was only at least 3 to 4. It was 3 to 4 because
I was sitting back going, I'm embarrassed to be part of this.
When I saw this, I knew we were done.
Okay.
Cushion coverage. That's what he's saying. No cushion.
Okay, it was a heck. So Kamara gets the kick. It's a touchback. CJ Stroud complete short to Dalton Schultz for a 14-yard. That's fine because that's what's expected. Timeout by the Houston Texans. CJ Stroud complete pass to Dalton Schultz, 6 yards tackled by Zion McCullum. Timeout by, I think they have the ball.
That's the end of their timeouts.
That's the end of their timeouts. They have the ball out. It doesn't say at the moment. Sorry, I do apologize on that one. They have the ball on the Houston 45. Okay. CJ Stroud complete short middle to Noah Brown for 14 yards tackled by Levante David. CJ Stroud spikes the ball at the Tampa Bay 41.
Mm-hmm.
CJ Stroud complete tap. This is what went wrong, and I'd like to see this play. CJ Stroud complete pass to Tank Dow for 26 yards. You should not be giving up 26 yards. You should be giving up 10.
No, you know why? They had McCullum playing that cushion coverage, and he got burnt to the sideline.
You can't get burnt in cushion coverage. It's impossible to get burnt in cushion coverage because you've got so much cushion in front of you. That's the whole point of it.
It was zone. They found a seam.
The thing you take off. We've said time and time again. Sorry,
it's tackle them in the. You can't let them get out of bounds. You guard the sidelines, and they didn't. They guarded. They took care of their zone. They did not take care of the sideline. But that's again. Well, go ahead.
Look, we've said on our show many a times, AJ, that the killer of what's been killing the Buccaneers is the cushion coverage, and we both have agreed cushion coverage doesn't work. But that's only because people have been taking advantage of the underneath that we're giving up for free. But you shouldn't be able to get deep release. You shouldn't get any deep stuff off cushion coverage. You're basically playing 4 fucking safeties. You should never ever get anything deep.
Right. I want them underneath on that.
That's I would say that was a bad break on recognition of the route. Now I've got to see the route to see it, but I would say he probably backed off too much and gave too much cushion as he was backpedaling. And that's what because he didn't execute the play properly. If he lets him build up and keeps about 3 or 4 yards away from him, that ball's never going to get complete. That ball should not get completed.
Yeah, but you know what I think the issue is, though, with the corners when they play zone or cushion? Because that's why I think we're designed to be more physical at the line. I think the reason why they let them get past because they don't want to get a call. It looks as if
a call fine, because if you get a call, it's a spot foul.
Right.
Yeah, who cares?
I agree, but remember, now this is where Rick does have a point. We don't have the players with some of them guys don't have the mentality to go, hey, it's okay to get
or physicality to be in there play after play in zone or press or
that's why you got to mix it up. I think you got to play around with it. You can't play press man all game because someone will get open. They always do. Yeah, no one's going to play a press man game where they play 95% press and it's going to be a fucking clinic. It's just not. You need them. play with it, adjust it. Maybe you play off press.
But in that situation, you're trying to bait them into throwing underneath.
Yes,
that's
of course.
What you want to do on the last play.
Absolutely. That's what you want it to do. Essentially, I'm backing my guys to make sure that nothing's going to get into the end zone, and you're going to complete it short. And when you do, we're going to tackle you to the line. And now, don't get me wrong, we'll be talking about poor tackling if they were to catch a ball outside and then take it into the end zone. Then we'll be talking about poor tackling technique.
But Dave brought up we've been holding them, especially in the red zone. That's been what this team's been
done. Yes, I mean that's what it is. But I do believe they play a little bit tighter. They play a tighter coverage usually in the red zone.
Exactly.
Generally,
they play tighter coverage in the red zone.
In that situation, I still think it's the right call in my opinion.
We got this started, so let's continue.
Stupid Bucs fans say.
It's time, and man, you guys did not disappoint. Let me tell you something. Thank you for kicking it off for us, AJ.
Of course.
And by the way, thank you for not being a baby, and we'll get to that in a bit.
Absolutely not. This is football. Shit happens. It is what it is.
Okay, here we go. Refs making their bonus money. Now, when you put together a 5-word sentence, how did you misspell 2 of them? Okay, and none of them were long words. Okay, and you got 2 of them wrong.
Yeah, right? They didn't spell money right.
Okay, agreed. And this is just great information. This is actually not stupid stuff. Somebody replied to me. The Bucs did try to get Cam Akers to help out, but Akers wanted to play for his old coach, Kevin O'Connell. Really couldn't afford anyone else. This is the dead cap space, guys. $35 million to Tom Brady, $8 million to Donovan Smith, Leonard Fournette $5 million, Akeem Hicks $5 million basically, Shaq Mason 4.3, Cam Brate 4, Julio Jones 3.5, and Ryan Succop 750,000. Just thought I'd throw in.
We always knew that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, quarterback pressures to sack leaders, by the way. And this is just fun to throw some smart things in. Okay, look at where Baker is on this. So for everybody who's complaining about Baker, shut up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Me and Rick, look, me and Rick gonna stand by Baker.
Yeah. Okay, Baker deserves better. People who call him out don't know squat about the game. Now, you think that's the quote. That's not why I put this up here. Look at the reply.
Can't do this. Yeah.
Winston was 100 times better than Baker. I mean, they're still doing it, man. They're still doing it. How many years later?
Look how great Winston did once he got away from the shackles of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's just been fabulous.
David, I need you to get out there and be that guy, that punchline guy. Just go, look at here.
That's what he does. He waits till they're sitting there for him, and then he just slams them home.
I love it. No.
He can't be out Derek Carr. He sucks.
Lori Wilkins, top contributor. Well, our running game is not existent. Our front four cannot create holes. Gadecki keeps creating penalties. Mayfield is overthrowing at times when he cannot see the field. I think he's too short. I will say he's tough as nails and does have grit. I don't think he's our answer at quarterback, though. We are hurting without Jensen leading the pack. I think we could win the division, but I don't see us getting deep into the playoffs. Lori Wilkins, you are a saint. You should be a top contributor in a group called Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans. Thank you. But this idiot, Dean and Davis, lives injured. They are trash as well. Todd Bowles destroyed Tom Brady's last season. That's my favorite.
He made Tom Brady throw those bad passes. He made Tom Brady fall down as soon as he saw any sort of pressure.
Not even before he could see it. Yeah.
He's like, shit, they moved.
Yes, exactly. I mean,
it's like someone said grenade and he went, fuck it.
Yeah, no, who said it's down, set, hut, pass?
Yes.
I mean, that was last year.
Again,
I don't want to do this anymore.
The run game is working, and the defense look like they're having fun out there.
I hope that person.
What was the context of that comment?
Yeah,
Well, it was. That was early in the game when we were doing well.
somebody's being sarcastic.
Okay. Well, but the reason I did this is what it's like reading Bucs fans' comments. The run game is working. The defense looks like they're having fun out there. Next comment. When will this coaching staff see the run game is not working? And by the way, I love the comment below. I ain't seen a Feed the Children commercial in a minute. They must be doing all right.
Now, that is hilarious. But Slick, I do want to. I was telling them earlier, and this is why I said, in a way, the offense sort of the philosophy that Bowles has doesn't work because he wants to run, but you don't have the running
Not
back.
his offensive philosophy.
You don't have the line to do what you want to do. The line is set up for the pass. The line is the line, or is it not set up for the pass? Because we said it was built.
AJ, did you during the Super Bowl? Did you say, "Well, Bruce Arians' defense looks great"? No, you said Todd Bowles' defense. Now you're saying, "Well,
no," because
Todd Bowles' offense."
At the end of the day, the commander in chief of that locker room was Arians. Bowles was doing his job as a coordinator. He was a great coordinator. He
left the defense alone.
And he did his role. But that offense, we acting like that this offense wasn't humming either. We were getting stuff done. And then the good thing is Arians and Brady, after the Chiefs game, they were able to finally compromise. And then after that, this team was rolling.
Yes, the offense was getting stuff done with Tom Brady, Leonard Fournette. Donovan Smith was still there. Cam Brate was still there. Yes, the offense was getting things done. What a shock. Okay. Now you lose all these players and they're not performing as well. Who knew?
Well, wait a minute. With Evans and Godwin there, those are still your two nuclear receiving quarterbacks.
That's right. But now you don't even have the same quarterback. Everything's different.
Yeah, but it's still inexcusable.
Okay, I think let's talk about this offensive scheme, and this is how I want to look at it. The one thing that I remember hearing, and I think we can all attest to this, as this year went by, on our first year with Bruce Arians, Bruce Arians was saying, "Oh, I would like. I'm pleased with the skill set I'm getting out of Jameis Winston, but I want to see the reduction in picks. They should be dropping over the course of the season. So he expected the picks to go up at the beginning because it's a no risk it, no biscuit offense. But as he learns the system and learns the scheme, the team is supposed to gradually, and any scheme, we saw it with the defense as well, is supposed to get better and better. And we did have a section of games where we won 4 in a row, 5 in a row, or something like that.
Jameis, wasn't it? Wasn't that Jameis? That was Jameis. Man, he could look amazing. The way I described him at the time was it was like dating the crazy girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's always they're the best. They are awesome. They are fantastic. I mean, dating the crazy girl is the best thing ever until the cops show up in the driveway.
Right.
And that's what you had to deal with.
But where I'm going with this is Dave Canas's first year. This is essentially this offense's new year under this regime. We're now at the midway point of the season. This is when we need to start to see this change. This is when we're going to see that things are clicking. It's starting to be a bit more smoother, right? If it's not, then that's when they've got to sit down and go, right, is this the offense for us, or do we need to go looking for another one? And this is also another problem because you're going to have that same growing pain in the next year.
No, but you're going to be able to start getting.
Sure, but you're still going to have growing pains from a new. If you decide to go down for a new offensive scheme, you're going to have that growing pain.
Yeah. If you have to go get a new offensive scheme, which I don't think they should do. By the way, let me keep going because I got a lot of stupid stuff here.
Okay.
And I want to get through this. I waited as long as I could. Let me just go. I'll go as fast as I can. All right. But some of these are going to take a minute. Crazy how the offense opens up when we run the ball, and then defense is trash. And look right below there. If you have anything bad to say about our defense this season, you clearly don't know football. So Shane Santos says defense is trash. And then Lewis Hagen says, if you have anything bad to say about our defense this season, you clearly don't know football. This is why this segment exists.
The defense had a trash day.
Yes.
For
This
sure.
team looks nothing like a Bruce Arians coach team. Bowles has messed up everything. This looks nothing like a Bruce Arians coach team because
wish
it's
Bruce
not the
Arians stayed around
same
for-
effing team.
I kind of wish Bruce Arians did stick around for a little bit longer and just see what he could have done, because then we'd be like, what's the question there?
It's not the same effing team. It's why
You
it
think
doesn't
Bruce
look
Arians
like
saw the roster and went, this might be a bit of a pain in the ass. I'm retiring.
Yes, I do think that.
Yes. I gotta go.
think that some health issues, and he looked and he saw the handwriting on the wall.
Yeah, he pulled
I want to get this all situated with my guy. Wink, wink.
Yeah, he played,
No.
he pulled a Urban Meyer.
Believe that for a minute.
Oh, I got a headache. Yeah.
Oh God.
Okay, everyone wants to fire someone. Baker just needed to control the clock. The defense was gassed. So this is Baker.
Guys, this whole sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
The whole thing about this control on the clock, I always say it's a one-sided dice to a degree, because if you run out of time, you didn't.
Yes, that's my point. That's what I was saying earlier.
This team is struggling to score. We're known as a team that's struggling to score, right? Yes, we may have got better in that singular moment in those games, and we put together a few more drives where we scored touchdowns. However, this team has been devoid of scoring for quite a while. Do you think they're going to go, I know what we'll do. We'll run a ball. This isn't fucking Madden where you run the ball just to burn 40 seconds off the clock and go, I'm going to score a touchdown here anyway, so I'm going to burn another 40 seconds off.
Right.
Now it's a third down, and it doesn't matter that it's third down, tanks. I'm going to get the touchdown anyway, because I'm going to run my simple slant. That always works, because that's what my game does. Boom. Because I'm playing on fucking easy mode.
Gosh, why didn't Todd Bowles
done.
know we were going to score on the same play? If
You don't know.
If Todd Bowles was a good coach, he would have known they were going to score on the next play.
You can't take that. You can't take the risk saying we're definitely scoring.
Right.
You don't know.
Boycotting the rest of the season. If the Bucs are okay with tanking wins, they can have their season tickets back. Worst coach ever. Tim Ryan, I got to break something to you.
He was not finished yet, man.
Back. I know they're 3-5, same record as last year.
What happens if we end up winning 5 games?
Right.
Plus, yeah, right. So we end up with the same. If we end up with the same record, and okay, we can turn around and we have some purple patches and what have you. But at the end of the day, we end up with the same record as we got last year with a weaker team, right?
Yeah.
What does that look? What people saying then? And I'm sure they'd still say get rid of the coach, because unless we're winning a fucking Super Bowl, I don't think people are going to be happy.
They'll do it anyway. I promise.
And it's got to be done the right way you win the Super Bowl too.
Right. You have to win it with the guy you want.
You got to win it the right way, and you got to beat the other team by enough.
We would have won it by more if Trask was
style
in.
and panache.
We would have won by more if Trask was in.
There is a reason why, man.
There's a reason why the Manchester United fans are forcing the Glazers to sell the team, because they run the team into the ground, and they are doing the same with the Buccaneers.
They haven't forced the Glazers to do anything yet, because the Glazers know they got money coming out of Manchester United, and they will not put that down unless someone pays a king's ransom for it, because they're one of the most richest teams in all of sports history.
And if anybody wants to argue, you're hearing from somebody in the UK.
What's Manchester's net worth? Do you think, Slick? I know it's in the billions. Like, is it in the high
5 billion?
Wow.
I guess. It's
Christopher Cole.
Is that in pounds or in dollars?
By the way, Christopher Cole. Thank you, Christopher Cole. It doesn't look like an Arians team, not just because of all the people I mentioned, but Jensen, Marpet, and Kappa are also not out there. Bowles hasn't had them. Remember, Arians did. Thank you, Christopher Cole.
Yeah, but at some point, though, I'm going to be honest, Rick, that nobody's going to want to hear that anymore. It's going to be excuses, because now they're going to say, they're going to
know they don't want to hear it. It may be the truth. I'm just bringing the truth.
Say, though, what are your results, though, and what are you doing to help change that? And that is why I think, again, that's why for me it's the philosophy of it. And you are right, Slick. We're
$6 billion US dollars is what they're worth.
How much?
$6 billion US dollars.
Goodness gracious!
Someone's gonna have to pay a king's ransom to get that team off.
Oh yeah, they ain't going nowhere. They're gonna make that money.
But they don't like the Glazers, because the Glazers just take all the profit, and they've got like a decaying stadium. They don't really pump much money back into the team, and that's what they're pissed off about. Not the coaching, Manchester United fans are like the Dallas Cowboy fans. They've been relevant for a very long time, and then all of a sudden it's been stripped away. and they're one of those teams that kind of finishes in the top 5. But finishing in the top 5 in the Premier League means fuck all. You either finish first or you're last. It's that simple, because there's no playoffs. You finish the season, and where you finish on that season is where you finish.
Move on, correct?
All right, let me finish this out here, guys.
One.
Or we're going to be here all night. 500 yards, 5 TDs. I'll never watch another Buck game. This is a guy
in the
Tampa Bay Buccaneers club. Sean Burke.
But you will, though.
Buccaneers club. Of course he will. 500 yards, 5 TDs. I'll never watch another Buck game ever. I'm embarrassed to TOO be a Buck fan.
He will.
Okay. It's time to blow this team up and start over after this embarrassing loss. Start with
Bowels
this season.
That sounds
Dave
painful.
Anglin.
But I mean, he did coach like shit, so.
Yes, he did give me the runs by looking at it. It's like, oh my God.
But we didn't finally run. Okay, bring
Now
back
this
Gruden.
is-
Save this franchise. And you know what? I replied to that one. I just simply replied, worked great for the Raiders, didn't it?
Exactly. The same guy.
Well, half their team in jail.
Exactly.
This loss feels like dating a girl that all your friends say is a hoe, but you don't believe them and stick up for her. Then you catch her cheating and realize she is indeed a hoe.
Yes, that is very, very.
That was. I almost tried to contact this guy. I almost tried to contact him and get him on the show because I thought that
is Bowles in a nutshell.
Yeah,
Bowles is for the streets, and you just want to save him.
Okay, well, that's not one of them. Hold on.
Wow, that's a long.
In this old man's 47, he's 47 years, 1970s fan. I witnessed some bad coaches. Yesterday's coaching was an effing utter disgrace. The Bucs have a solid small core of good young players. The problem is Todd Bowles is real soft, so he's soft bowels. Snowflake head coach. Litch and the Glaziers has some drastic decisions to make in 2024. Just an example, not re-sign Devin White. Unload worthless players such as Carlton Davis and unload worthless bust Joe Tryon, who is spelled wrong also. Keep in mind, Bucs fans, if Carlton Davis just makes one effing play, the Bucs win. Look what I wrote. Did you even try to spell anything correctly?
You grammar Nazi.
I like that Facebook profile though. Go ahead, Rick. Rick got that distinguished like.
He literally got every name wrong.
Okay,
that's mentioned. He spelled every single. No, he got Carlton Davis right.
He got Todd right.
Right, but every person he got Carlton Davis right.
Yeah.
Okay, and last but not least, my favorite of all of them.
Oh my God.
Cad Otto. Just because a star.
I'm gonna think that person was intoxicated when they tried to say this.
My reply was.
My wife thinks K. Dotton's called.
Well, now my reply to this was now I know where the rum went.
Yeah.
Somebody was drinking. That was Jack
my wife thinks K. Dotton's name is K. Dotton.
I hear Kate. I hear Oten. I hear all these different names.
But she hears me shouting his name at the TV, so I say K. Dotton.
So everybody who's ripping on Baker in that segment, Bucs quarterback Baker Mayfield is tied for 11th with in the NFL with 12 passing TDs, and of the 19 quarterbacks with 10 TDs or more, only C.J. Stroud has fewer interceptions than Mayfield, 4, and only Patrick Mahomes has been sacked less. So all you guys, once again, when I said they are mirrors of each other, you saw it in the game.
Yeah, you can say it. Yeah, absolutely.
And even ask Cad Otto.
Cad Otto. Look, I'm just to start calling him that. Cad Otto. What's up, man? Look, that's your new nickname. Remember how we misspelled All-Star? It was All-Star.
I love the fact he doesn't wear gloves. I think that's awesome.
I just think again, Rick, if they listen to us more with the rollouts for Baker and they start throwing more horizontal
Dude, the offense did fine. I don't need the offense to change a thing. I don't need Baker to do anything right now.
Hey, we need to run the ball more.
They did.
We need to get
they did great.
On the ball more, and we need to run it more.
They had 37 points or whatever it is. Let me tell you something. Yeah, whatever. Let me tell you, they don't need to do anything different. Keep doing what you're doing. You're improving. Thank you for doing that. Now let's hope the defense plays like it normally does. I think that's fair. Okay, I think
Well,
I
hopefully
think
they can't
fair.
get. Hopefully, well, on knock on, I have Oakwood. They don't play worse. You're playing a team again that you should be able to take advantage of. I'm just hoping that Bowles and Canals really just have a serious look and try to turn this around, because you guys said it earlier. If the Bucs, let's say if the Bucs win 3 straight, do you think that the attitude would be a complete night and day if the Bucs beat the 49ers?
If they win 3 out of the next 4, which is very doable.
Yes.
Okay. If they win 3 out of the next 4, they're
6
at
and 6.
what?
6 and 6 wouldn't they?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So
So
5 out of the next 6 are winnable, and then you're
Okay.
at 8 and 6.
Okay.
And if you lose, if you go 4 and 2, you're still 7 and 7.
No, and I agree. And we're still in a bad division. We can't. The Falcons literally just lost to the Vikings.
Yeah.
My man Dobbs with the butt-faced Dobbs came in there and just said, "Yeah, I'm gonna come in there and just and
So,
beat you."
I'm
So
going to have
agree.
to skip the meme grinder from time, just for time purposes, but I want to throw out 2 of them just because they relate to this week. Bucs defensive backs today. Thought that was awesome. And this one made me literally laugh out loud.
Yeah,
I asked AI to show me Todd Bowles working his next job.
Yeah. Somebody said he's Zion Williamson's dad. I can't do this.
Oh my gosh. I just,
How do you get that?
Everything.
Oh,
is
man.
Well, they have the same build and everything.
Yes.
I'm not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe.
Everybody hates Bowles. I'm just saying, no. Yeah, things can turn around. It's just going to be up to. I think again they're going to have to just do some intervention and look and go. Do you want? I want more urgency. I want to see it. I don't want Bowles to fail. Shit, I want him to succeed, because we don't need to go through another coaching change anymore. I want to see what happens.
Let me go through. Yeah. Some great info that 29th, the Bucs defensive ranking.
Yeah.
29th in total defense, 31st in pass defense, 31st in third down defense, giving up 48%, 16th in scoring defense. That's horrible.
Yeah, big
That
time.
is horrible.
They're more open than Mia Khalifa.
Guys, I got a nice little thing for you. Rick, you said how much money that we hemorrhaged that we didn't get to use. Can you give me that figure?
Yeah, there was now I'm forgetting if it was 52 or 56 million that we were over the cap. 56. We were over the cap 56.
Okay, we're over the cap 56.
Right. Now 75 million in dead money.
So that gives us a total of 125.
Yes.
Okay. Everyone, just give me one free agent that you would love to have got this season.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You, Slick. No,
Let's do it. Everyone, give me a free agent that you would love to have had on your team that you knew was a free agent this year.
We can't afford him.
No, we can now, because we're going in the hypothetical world that Todd Bowles has money.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who even were all the free agents.
Oh no,
I
knew we
Kevin
were.
Hargrave.
There you go.
But that's a lot of your budget. But obviously, you're only paying him 25 million the first year, so 21 million the first year. Jesse Bates, you want to get yourself a new safety? 16 million.
Yeah, and everybody's like, "Gosh, why is the secondary struggling?" What if we wanted to get a pass rusher?
Give me a second. Let's have a look. Draymond Jones, Zach Allen. I'm just trying to find good ones. Josh Oliver. DeMarcus Walker.
There weren't really any available, right?
No, it wasn't. The free agency market this year was not as big as a lot of people.
And it's worse next year, by the way.
Right. And that's why I do think a lot of people were. It's like it wasn't that good this year for everybody to say, "Oh, well, the Bucs need to."
Yannick Ngakoue, I'd have got him in.
Okay, how much?
Yannick Ngakoue is 10 mil.
Can't afford it.
Right. And so think about this, guys. If we just if if you could just get rid of the fact that get rid of a quarter of the dead cap money.
Yeah.
We could have gotten 2 of those guys that you're talking about, which changes the whole defense. This is my point. When I say Todd Bowles is coaching with his hands tied behind his back, it's not fair to hold him literally 75 million and 56 million is 130.
You don't let all those players go that went. I mean, you keep them if you have the money.
Want to get yourself a new offensive guard? Connor McGovern, 7.5 mil.
Yeah.
Will Hernandez, 5 mil.
Yeah.
You could revamp your whole if the money was available, which it wasn't.
Guess what, guys?
You can get some stuff.
And everybody looks at it and goes, well, we got 50 million available next year. Yeah, but you've got to pay, Winfield. You've got to pay. Right? Right.
You're going to have to create some more.
There's another 50 million in dead cap space, then it's pretty much gone. Okay, then it's pretty much gone.
I think we're
There's
not
a little left.
Some of those people aren't going to come back, right? But I think there's people like Wirfs and Winfield. Wirfs, they can really.
At all costs, you're going to.
So what I'm hearing is we all need to hop in that DeLorean and go about 3 years into the future and just skip these next couple of years.
Yeah.
Next year's probably going to be rough. I like this. J.C. Cornell. The Buccaneers have 48 million in cap space in 2024. They need to give Winfield what he deserves. Need to negotiate with Tristan Wirfs, even though he'll have to need to re-sign Hall of Famer Mike Evans. Who knows about Devin White? He wants a $100 million contract. He's not getting it anywhere, which doesn't look like will happen. I'll be okay with 13 to 15 million a year. Baker Mayfield is another guy who we need to see how the season plays out. I just think with the roster, we need a 5-year rookie quarterback contract to build around and be a contender with so much talent. I think there's a lot of truth in that. But I just don't think Baker is going to be that much more than that rookie.
I think that too. But I think with the 2 guys that we did mention that we do think probably get the most deserved players of the contracts, which will probably be Wirfs and Winfield, they're going to have so many voidable years attached to their contracts. I can guarantee it. They're going to be something like they'll be earning on base salary something like $2 million on that year.
Yeah.
And the rest will all be bonuses and shit. So we know that they can make that cap magic. And to be fair, they're players for your future anyway, so you're not going to stress too much about it. So
and then we're going to get to Don't Be a Baby. So Dave, get yourself all prepared. But I want to read this because this sums everything up. Rick Stroud, who is absolutely spot on all the time, hellbent. Maybe consider he was hired March 30th, 2022. Couldn't hire a coach. Had a 45-year-old quarterback under some personal distress and the oldest team in the NFL. Lost the starting center day 2 of training camp. Won the NFC South, only the 8th division title in club history. Sat starters for most of week 17. Started a year $56 million over the salary cap. Had no quarterback. Hired a new offensive coordinator. They're half game out with 10 to play. What record should they have right now? We'll see what the Glazers do. But this is the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes.
They just need to win 6.
So that the point of and I think that sums it up well. That he's got his hands tied behind his back. Now we're going to let Dave do what Dave does beautifully here with Don't Be a Baby. We're going to pick that up. And right after that, we're going to get into who could replace Bowles.
Come on, to the hip hop, the hip it to the hip hip hop, and you don't stop the rock it to the bang bang boogie. Say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the.
My go-to baby. Guess who? It's the people who brought you flag football in the Pro Bowl. It's the National Football League office. Let me tell you what they're up to now. They're having a postponement of the hearing related to one Mr. John Gruden, who used to coach the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And let me remind you what went on there. while Mr. Gruden was not even in the employ of the National Football League, while he was working for his place called ESPN, all these emails start getting leaked. There's hundreds of millions of emails they're going through, but the only person that has their emails leaked is one John Gruden. His emails were from 2011 to 2018 to former Washington Commanders executive Bruce Allen. But this is the ultimate in babydom, because listen to the reason why they don't even want the Gruden's lawsuit being brought to trial. From our friends at the Associated Press, the league wants the court to reverse a state judge's decision in May 2022, letting Gruden's lawsuit proceed and not to order out of court talks. That should be overseen by Commissioner Roger Goodell. They want it to be kept in-house, and the people who leaked it, the people who benefited from it, the people who were out to get John Gruden get to oversee exactly what should happen in this situation. Quit being a baby, National Football League. Wake up, admit to what you did. Well, John Gruden will deal with you at another time because you can't keep your mouth shut, but that's a whole nother babydom. But the National Football League, I can't even begin to say what a big bunch of babies you are.
Awesome.
That is awesome. The NFL is hilarious.
All right. Way to go, Dave.
That was good.
I love that.
Absolutely. They are babies. All right. Last thing we're going to do.
The guy we screwed over, give him back to us and we'll decide.
Absolutely. We're going to do one more quick thing, and then we're going to get into who are some possibilities that are being thrown around. But we're going to do that in just a second. First, I got to know, AJ, what'd you have for dinner?
Chicken, rice, and veggies.
Slick?
I was at work. I had soup. It's boring. I don't get.
No
I don't
food
get
is
the,
boring.
I don't get the criteria.
Hey, soup is good food.
No food.
No. But it's like tin soup. You know, it's take it to work. You eat it in the cafeteria. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
dinner. You know.
Right. Well, speaking of dinner. The South,
That's
brought
so
to you by the fine folks at the Aftermath, okay? Because Slick brought up the topic for tonight, and I went ahead and picked up the ball and ran with it. I think this could be some good discussion. What are the top 3 pizza toppings anywhere? I'm saying number 3, mushrooms. I don't care if you don't like mushrooms. If you don't like mushrooms, you're an idiot. Mushrooms are phenomenal. Phenomenal.
I'm a big fan of the mushroom.
Yes, mushrooms are amazing. And we're talking number 3. Really, seriously, what would you put there? Number 2, and I am dead set. To me, this should be number 1, but I held back and you'll see why. Italian sausage. Italian sausage at number 2. When I go get pizza, just pile on as much Italian sausage and as many mushrooms as you want, and that's fine with me. That's fine with me. Now, number one, guys, I had to do it. It seems obvious. I'm kidding. You idiots. Who would put freaking
My daughter loves a Hawaiian pizza.
No. Let me ask you guys something.
He loves it.
Have
She's
you guys
my
ever
kid.
had pineapple upside down cake?
Yes.
Would you put tomato sauce on that?
Nope.
No.
Of course
mean-
not.
But I like pineapple and I like pizza.
I do too.
That
I
doesn't
do
mean it
too.
doesn't.
I like bacon, and I
Not
like,
bad with ham. Ham
I
and
like
pineapple
Kate
on
Upton.
pizza.
I like
That's not
bacon,
bad.
and I like Kate Upton. But
Well,
I'm
that's
not
it.
gonna
Yeah,
put
that's another thing.
bacon
A lot
on
of people you put the pineapple. You put the pineapple on the ham, don't you, to help juice it up
Right. Just don't put
like on your gammon and shit. So you know it does go. It technically it does
acids
go.
on acid. Acid on top of acid. No, it does not go.
Yeah.
It does not.
Yeah,
go.
my little girl's a big
I
fan.
did this just
Pepperoni.
because it's
Of
not
course.
my favorite, but come on.
Oh
It's
no,
not
that's
my
good.
favorite.
But it's like a staple, isn't it? It's got to be
Yeah.
there.
It's like peanut butter and jelly. It matches. It's a match made in heaven.
Yes. Now I would have put, honestly, to be honest, extra cheese. I think
Yeah.
cheese should have been
Okay.
on there. That deserves an honorable mention. But I don't know if you guys have ever been to this place. I know, Slick, you haven't.
Nope.
We'll have to.
I'll add
think
it to my
this,
list.
but There's a place called Blaze. I know they're in Orlando, Dave. AJ, where are you?
I'm in the
By
DMV
DC,
area,
right?
DC area.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think
I think they are there. I do
I
think they're
look.
there.
Oh, look.
Yeah. What you do is you go in. It starts off. It's kind of like you go to, let's say, Subway, right?
Okay.
Or Chipotle. You go at the beginning and you choose one of their crusts, a thicker crust, low carb crust, the regular crust, whatever, and they flatten it out right there, fresh. They flatten it all out for you right there. They got a little machine. They put it in, flattens it out. Then you go down and they say, okay, which sauce would you like? Do you want the white sauce? Do you want the regular sauce or the spicy sauce? You tell them what you want, they put it on it. Then what kind of cheese do you want? They got all different kinds of cheese. I like that. Put ricotta on it with mozzarella and all this. And then go to the next station. They're putting on, I literally do this. I'll say, put on Italian sausage, put on extra Italian sausage. They put it on there. And then I'll say, put a little bit of onion on. They put a little bit of onion. I say, okay, now put on extra Italian sausage. Right? They put it back on and put it on again. And then I say, okay, that's awesome. Now I'd like a little bit of black olives. So put a little bit of that on there. I said, okay, now put on some Italian sausage. They put more Italian sausage on. And then I said, now I want you to cover the entire thing with mushrooms. They cover the whole thing with mushrooms. And then I say, sprinkle some oregano on it. And then they put it in the oven right there. And it takes like 4 minutes. And out comes.
I say with all that stuff on there, it's got to take hours to cook.
It's amazing. No, it takes like 4 minutes. It's like a personal sized pizza. It is amazing. It is amazing. It is amazing. Blaze Pizza is awesome. So to the people at Blaze, nothing but props. Absolutely love
check them out.
Yeah. When you come here,
I got to do a sheet of all the places I need to go eat.
Yeah, when you come here, Slick, I will buy you chicken fingers from Publix, and I'll take it. Okay?
I'm letting you do.
And a pineapple upside down cake to top it all off.
With tomato sauce.
Whatever.
Why would you put tomato on?
I don't know, but there's things that you guys do that we find a little bit odd, but we come accustomed to them because it works. You know, you guys do a really good thing with sweet and savory. Like the idea of eating pancakes with sausages and bacon seems insane because we eat them as a sweet, right? And we only have like syrups and stuff that on them. So to hear that you've got maple syrup. You guys have maple syrup, and next to it you have sausage and bacon. That is a fucking insane combo. But it works. When you try it, actually, that works.
Sweet and savory is awesome.
You can't handle our cold beer.
Like salted caramel.
I just drink anything.
Together is great. Salted caramel is great. I mean,
right. It's like, do y'all eat cereal with warm milk?
No, you can't have warm milk, man. Warm milk's going to be like.
Milk bad. What are you talking about?
Oh, do you mean where you heated it up?
Yeah, heat it up.
No, we don't do that.
Okay.
No, oatmeal.
Oh yeah, you kind of have that. I mean, I just boil a kettle, stir it up, get the porridge oats going, and then I put a bit of milk to temper it a little bit more.
Yeah,
I got
it.
All
right. So yeah, I wanted to go through that and at least cover that. And anybody who says pineapple, you're dead to me.
So is that your personal order? If you were to go to a pizza place, that's usually what you would go for?
What I just said?
Yeah.
I'll get Italian sausage, mushrooms. Yeah, or a meat lovers. I'll get meat lovers. I mean, just bacon.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Dave? What's your regular pizza order?
Dave?
Oh, I was saying I put sliced meatballs on it.
Oh yeah, sliced meatballs is awesome. They have that at Blaze. Yeah. Awesome.
What about you, AJ? What's your typical order?
I'm a pepperoni man. That's just that's.
See, I can do a meat feast. I can do a meat feast because it's got all the meats, but it gets a bit cumbersome. So I quite like a little bit of veggies to break down the flavor.
I do too.
I'm a supreme guy, and then I usually have olives. I can get half and half. I'll have a meat feast on one side, supreme on the other, and then I'll have some jalapeno peppers on the meat feast,
That's
and
nice.
some
That's
olives on the thing, and then some dip. That's all I need in life.
Hey, if you get a meat feast with a little bit of onion and mushroom,
Yeah, it just makes it pop more,
yeah, that's about the best.
Black olives, they're good too.
They are. That's what I was saying. Yeah,
It's hard as long as it's not fish. I'm good.
Yeah, I think everyone the anchovy pizza.
I've never understood that.
That pineapple, I just don't get it. All right.
The three worst, yeah.
So let's get back. Yes, exactly. So let's get back to the core of today's conversation. Core of today's conversation has been, quite simply, who's going to replace Bowles?
You could do a game of who would you rather.
Yeah. Oh man.
So you could just say who would you rather, Coach Bowles or?
I got an idea. Let's do who'd you rather on Saturday night.
Yeah, I'm cool.
All right, and then we can plan it. You can plan it. And we can talk about it.
I'm all for that.
We'll talk about it. Talk to me about it, and I'll put some graphics together. We got.
We could do it like blind date. Behind, and you can ask questions about the three candidates or something.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. We'll talk about that. Yes. Yeah, we will talk about that.
And your new head coach is.
Yeah. Okay. Now, the list includes Jim Harbaugh, Detroit offensive coordinator Ben Johnson.
He's good at stealing signals, so we might know a thing or two.
Houston offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick. And by the way, that's hilarious to me that he's a rookie and he's getting mentioned in this.
Was Bobby Slowick one of the guys that we were meant? Because I remember talking about him. Wasn't he a guy that we were? Oh, yeah, but wasn't he a guy that we were interviewing for an OC position?
He might have.
We interviewed a lot of guys.
I don't remember. We have the league we interviewed. Okay, so Bobby Slowick, Seattle offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, Washington offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy, Carolina DC. I can't even pronounce it. Ahiro Ivero, Miami OC Frank Smith, Buffalo OC Ken Dorsey, Philadelphia OC Brian Johnson, Detroit DC Aaron Glenn, Baltimore DC Mike McDonald, and Green Bay special teams Rich Bisaccia. Anybody have somebody you'd like to choose out of that? Come on, give me a top three. Doesn't have to be in order. Give me three.
I quite like Shane Waldron.
Okay.
Because he's going to work well with who we've already got as our OC, so you can see that kind of working. That can pop quite well. But then you're going to have to really figure out who your defensive coordinators can be. Comes from a good coaching tree of Seattle coaches. So I quite like him. I'd probably go with Brian Johnson just because that offense is really, really good, and I like it. It's quite modern as well. Rich Bisaccia is I'd say that the honorable mention because I just don't know, but I know what he did with the Raiders, and I liked what he did. I feel like a culture guy.
Yeah,
that's the kind of guy you want in your building, and a head coach doesn't need to. If he's got a good OC and a good DC, you probably don't need him. He just sits. He just sits back and game manages.
This is my point, and he's been in the league for so long and coached around with so many different people and done this for such a long time that he's going to be well connected and be able to bring in a good offensive coordinator and be able to bring in and know who is a good offensive coordinator.
He'd be the interesting hire.
Right.
I'd like to be a fly on the wall on that interview.
Right. Now, and also, if you remember the big dog, Steve Dumig in Tampa on Tampa radio, some of you may know who I'm talking about. Steve Dumig always brought up the fact that special teams coordinators are actually the coach that is closest to the head coach because they're not always working with their guys. They're right there, able to sort of assist the head coach and everything, and because you're not always doing special teams practice. The DCs with their guys, the OC is with their guys, the special teams coordinator's kind of hanging with the head coach. And Rich Bisaccia, that's actually I would go with Bisaccia, Ben Johnson, or I'm gonna say it, Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh. Oh, by the way, Bill Belichick is probably going to be on that list. And I don't want him. But
I don't want him either.
Right. So, Dave, you got 3?
I got 2. Rich Bisaccia for the reasons you cited, and because I think he's the best coach out of the group. And number 2 would be Ken Dorsey, because my mother-in-law's maiden name is Dorsey. We might be related somehow.
I love that.
Okay. Good logic. That's strong, Dave. Way to break.
Thank you.
I just want to coach with my mother's maiden name.
Right. We by the way, we didn't talk about this when we were go. Let's do the rundown. You guys, the rundown is just a quick look around the league. Okay. Quick look around the league, which I'm going to also be able to include the NFC South because I slacked and did not cover the NFC South in what's cooking in the South. That was my letdown. All right, so let's talk about the teams. The Titans that were playing this week. The Titans, listen, you're not going to hear me say we are like the Titans, okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it. So to you guys, listen up. I'm going to make this clear. We should beat the Titans on paper. All right? We should beat the Titans on paper. All right? So I'll agree with you if you say it this week. Last week I had some issues with it. This week I will agree with that. Anybody have any thoughts on the Titans?
They have a
Rookie quarterback. It's going to be interesting.
They have a rookie quarterback, so he should throw for about 471 yards.
Yeah. And 6 touchdowns.
You watch, he'll break the other record.
Yeah.
Back-to-back work.
We'll be like this, oh, for fuck's sake.
Okay. I'm emotionally not invested anymore. I'm observing reports. So whatever happens, I'll just go, well, this is what happens. So at this point, you don't
Miami. What about Miami? Miami dropped a 3rd game.
Yeah.
Miami's good, but they're not what everybody was acting like. And Buffalo is still only 1 game out. So everybody's counting them out. And
well, Miami is good against bad teams. They're really good. But when they play good teams, it's a crapshoot.
Well, they adjust. They adjust. I'm glad you said it. Good teams adjusted Tyreek, and they monitor him very, very well. And they take the blueprint from Bowles.
Peace. The Jets. Y'all saw who was walking into the stadium without a limp, right? In the game last night.
Yeah.
Oh god.
That dude's going to be back in about 6 weeks. That dude will be back.
He'll be in his hyperbolic time chamber.
If they make the playoffs, Aaron Rodgers will be their quarterback.
It's gonna be interesting because
oh crap, I missed it. There was one of the stupid things Bucs fans say. Somehow I overlooked it. That somebody said next year. How about Zach Wilson?
No,
I'm not kidding. Somebody said that.
They must have been trolling. They have to be trolling.
That's where the rest of the rum went.
Yeah.
No, that was an illegal substance they took for that.
Yep. The AFC North. Baltimore just looks so much better than everybody else. They really do. Except for, let me say this. By the way, 3 teams are 5-3 in that division. And Cincinnati is all the way back. Cincinnati looks good. They look like they are clicking on all cylinders. Cincinnati looks really good. They put
healthy
behind
Joe
at the
Burrow
beginning.
will do it.
Well, it took him a while when he came back, but wow.
He did bounce back. It took him a few weeks before he became really healthy.
Burrow got that dog in him. I like it.
Yeah.
Burrow
the AFC South, Jacksonville's the class of the division, but I don't think they're going anywhere. And
I don't know about that.
I think they'll win. I think they'll win a playoff game, and that'll be it.
At best. Kansas City. They seem really good, but they just don't seem as dominant as they have. Could they win the whole thing? Absolutely, but they don't seem as dominant as they do in some years.
I agree.
The Chargers are the Chargers, nothing different. The Raiders are the Raiders, nothing different. Philadelphia, obviously the class of the NFC. It's not close. Philadelphia probably the class of the NFL. I think we're heading for a Philadelphia-Cincinnati Super Bowl. That would be my guess.
If that happens, I'm going all the way for Cincinnati.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
They'll do one.
Yeah, absolutely. Dallas, they're Dallas.
Asses.
And by the way, I could see Ron Rivera being available next year. I don't know if that,
I don't want him.
What's that?
I wouldn't want him.
I'd go down the offensive I'd go down the offensive mindset.
Exactly.
I agree.
Hey, if you don't like, if you like no risk it, no biscuit, Riverboat Ron.
He's not been that way. He hasn't been Riverboat Ron lately. By the way, okay, so let's get to the NFC South. Well, wait, before we get there, let's do the NFC West. San Francisco. They're exactly what they always seem to be. They get hurt, injuries kill them. Same thing as every year.
Yeah.
They're like weeds. They just continue to survive, though.
Yeah. Mike Evans hamstrings of the NFC West.
Seattle, it's just always just manages. I don't know.
They're just
They're just about, aren't they? They just don't go away.
Yeah, and by the way, this Sean McVay may be available next year.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right, the NFC South. Guys, this is exactly looks and okay, great. New Orleans won last week, barely over a team. This whole division is, I mean, let me say this. You have the Panthers who suck, and everybody else almost sucks.
Yeah.
That's about the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
All the other teams can beat anybody or lose to anybody. But but the Panthers,
Someone's going to take charge.
Yeah. Yes. And nobody
Someone's going to pound the fist.
While we're sitting here saying, we're really pissed off at the Buccaneers right now. If the Bucs win when New Orleans has a bye week, and then the Bucs beat New Orleans next time they play, they're tied, and the Bucs have the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Okay. So all they have to do is match them the rest of the way.
Yeah. We're frustrated, but the season is dwindling, but it ain't 100%.
No.
Because if
we need some hope, though, we need ray of sunshine to come through.
And we will get that.
We need that Seattle game to come back. Remember that Seattle game?
Yeah.
It just kind of got us back on track. It kind of made us believe again.
Yeah,
and that's what I think. Absolutely, that is what I think could happen.
Well, the other teams are gonna boo. I mean, the Saints are gonna pull a game where you go, yeah, you ain't good. So is the Falcons, and they just did with the Vikings, and the Panthers are gonna be. They're not even the Panthers. They are the Kitties, the Carolina Kitties, the Carolina Kitties.
Right. Yeah. All right. So, what we learned today, or what we anybody what anything?
You really hate pineapple. That's what I've learned.
There you go.
Right.
Awesome.
And
That's
and the Bucs need money.
yeah. The Bucs need money. Bucs need money. That is the key. And everybody who's sitting here thinking Todd Bowles sucks, you're really not understanding that literally half of
How is it, like, when you see people write these things where they say I'm done with the Buccaneers, where were they during the James Winston years? Because there were some fucking shit years. Like, I'm talking really shit. Like, we got blown out in games on a regular basis. No, agonized. We've had agonizing slow losses, right? And they hurt a little bit. They cut a little bit deeper because you're like, we almost had it.
Well, I don't know if you saw, but I put up a post. Let me read it to you. I put up a post that summed up my feelings exactly about what you're saying right now. Because as I keep seeing this stuff, and guys I keep seeing tickets available for this game, 2 tickets available, and I'm like, wait a minute, weren't y'all the ones who were just complaining, saying only sell to Bucs fans?
Yeah.
And now you're just throwing it out there on Facebook and don't care anymore. What happened there?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I put up a post that said, okay, to all, and let me put up the correct graphic while I read this, okay? To all of you bandwagon fans who hopped on board the last couple of years, it's been a pleasure knowing you. Sorry to see you go, but there's the door. Please exit quietly.
That looks like Arian saying something to JTS. Go get a sack.
You are welcome to leave. That's about all there is to it. You are welcome to leave.
Yeah,
I just don't understand this whole it's like they've never had the dark times before. And
They haven't, man. They're new. They're
we sucked. You remember the year before we got Jameis Winston? That year was agonizing. We could have beaten the Saints to finish off, and we went, nah, we'll just pull our entire starting lineup and let them fucking score to finish off the game.
We were horrible.
That was a horrible one to take because it was like, wow, we really are tanking.
Well, those are horrible years, yeah. But I mean, but I see that wasn't as hard to take for me because
we got Jameis.
Right. Well, we had hope. We had hope. We didn't know how bad that was going to turn out.
No, yeah. So the dark ones was the 2011 to 2014, where it was like, okay, I'm so glad that alcohol exists. I was like, oh God, because after seeing Raheem have a meltdown, then Shiana with that 10 toes on the line shit, and I was
toes on the line,
and then with them thick ass forearms, he would do this. I'm like, damn. But contrary,
we're Buccaneer men.
Exactly. That was the best Levante David we saw being utilized. That man was everywhere, blitzing, covering. But yeah, those people are new. They don't get it. They don't have a right to be mad. I'll say, shut up. You ain't got a right to be mad.
They haven't gone through 12 years of 10 or more losses in a row.
Exactly.
Tell them, Dave. They don't know.
You don't know what it's like.
They're not used to this shit. It's like we sitting here like, wait a minute.
I mean, to even thought of a whiff of a Lombardi was a joke.
Exactly.
You're never going to win
one. I literally sat there and laughed and said, wow, this feels very familiar. This last game, it was like I remembered it. It was deep. It was like, oh, there it is.
They're gonna lose. I know they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose.
It's not just they're gonna lose. It's just like
it's gonna be El Matador defense. They're gonna lose.
It's gonna hurt. It's not just gonna be a loss. It's gonna be a painful one. It's gonna really hurt. It's gonna sting, and we're gonna talk about this a couple of years from now. We're going to remember this one. And I remember that feeling, and it just sucks. It's not
just the way we lost, it's more the fact that it's like, oh, and their rookie quarterback is broken an NFL record for NFL rookie quarterback.
He didn't just break it, he broke it by 40 yards. I mean,
it
was 433 with Andrew Luck. Now it's 470. That's not just a little. He didn't just eke it out. I mean, he got
5 touchdowns. He had a whole highlight by himself.
Yeah.
And they couldn't beat the Panthers before.
But Cat Otto had a good game too.
We gotta keep that trend going. You are not K. Dot, and your name is Cat Otto.
Cat Otto. I'm gonna do this real quick, Dave. Dave, do you have to go, or can I do the meme grinder real quick?
You got ahead.
Time? All right, let's do it. All right, I'm going to fly through these things. Sometimes they're poignant and relevant. Sometimes they're not. But let's fly through these real quick.
Your ass is kicked, Doc. Oof, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Bucs life.
Yo ho.
It's a Bucs life. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. Have you? Are you ready to switch to AT&T yet?
I'm not gonna lie.
That's Lily.
That up.
That's Lily. That's Lily from AT&T.
My signal is wrong.
No math is harder than toilet paper math. 12 equals 54. 30 equals 68. 12 equals 72. 18 equals 82. No math is harder.
That's just how many yards that Sprout flew on.
And I saw toilet paper the other day that said professional series, and I'm wondering what skill level am I missing?
Shit.
Okay, I saw someone on Twitter compare me to Dak Prescott. This is an actual quote from Joe Burrow. I saw someone on Twitter compare me to Dak Prescott. I knew I had to get my head out of my. There we go.
That's beautiful. I love it.
Now, this is an old meme. This is my favorite meme from all of the previous meme grinders and everything. I brought it back. There's this one and one more, but this This one I brought back for this week. I'll bring the other one back next week. But God, I love this meme. Ever made a toy take its last squeak? It changes you, man. I love that thing. That dog is awesome. I mean, that dog was in Full Metal Jacket.
Oh yeah.
Here you go.
Oh,
we all
wow.
know that one guy. I'm letting my beard grow out.
Damn.
Okay, and this week, this is poignant for our time now. Out now, Rolling Stones' #1 album and new Beatles single. Wow, just how far did the clocks go back? Okay, we did that. I asked AI to show me Todd Bowles. Okay, here we go. Dear vegans, even plants think you're wrong. All right. I went to the grocery store, and they now have a parking spot for fat guys that like to grill. That is awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Easy step-by-step General So chicken. Follow me for more recipes.
Yikes.
And a reverse mortgage is not a way to take your home. It's just a loan you pay back with your home.
I can't look at Tom Selleck because he just looked goofy. That mustache has always been goofy on him. But
it's
he was the thing back in the 80s.
Oh my gosh, yes he was. Yes, he was.
My cousin had to watch Magnum PI.
Oh,
That was
God.
no negotiation with that, and you didn't have VCRs back then.
That was me with. It was like me with Charlie's Angels. I mean, it was just that was it. I'm watching
wireless. Go back to the wireless though. I didn't see that. You went by that way too fast.
I deleted it already.
Oh,
I'll message you. I'll message you. But that's
you.
Lily from AT&T.
Oh, I remember Lily.
I mean,
service is great.
Yeah, you guys remember the T-Mobile chick with the little pink dress? You guys remember those commercials?
No.
I don't think so.
All right.
Vaguely.
T-Mobile does not exist in my country, nor does Verizon, nor does we have we have Vodafone.
Oh wow! So you've never seen Lily?
Not if she's not recent, no. Because I get all the American adverts when I watch.
That's heartbreaking, man. That you're missing her. She's
No, he's not. That is a happily married man. Don't do that.
He's not a blind man. He's not a blind man.
I remember once I was in a meeting once, and a very pretty lady came in, and I said to my boss, "Dang, she's got that ghetto booty." And she said, "What's that?" And I explained to her what it is. But Steve, you're married. I went, "I'm getting married. I ain't blind."
Yeah, right. Right. I mean, come on.
I was like, "Hey, get your beauty." I'm gonna start saying that to get like
get your beauty.
Get your beauty. I love it. I love it. But
all right, guys. Well, thank you for coming here tonight. I want the two of you, please tell us where everybody can find you.
AJ, do you want to do it or shall I do it?
I got you. Look, you always can find us at the the Aftermath 102.9 The Game, Broad Street South Radio. Always check us out. And again, shout out to Bucs Live because it's always a pleasure talking to Rick and Dave. This is one big happy Bucs family. Regardless of our differences, we put it aside because it's always about this team right here. Off Dale Mabry Highway, the 813, Hillsborough County, the Bucs.
You got it. So Saturday night, you'll be at what time?
Probably about 8:30, I would guess. That's usually kind of where we hit, don't we?
Yeah.
8:30.
You're a little earlier on Saturday nights, and then on Mondays at 9.
Well, I've got practice in the morning. We got our OTAs, so
okay. And I want to say this, all of you who are here, but I want to say Polar Nights. I love this show. Thank you, Polar Nights. Love you too. Appreciate you guys. Next week, I expect y'all to tell me what you had for dinner. Christopher Cole, thanks for being here like always. Valdez BTW, thank you for coming by. Castillo, thank you for coming by. KGH for life, thank you for coming by. This Stephen Probert guy, thank you. Fred Moore, I think Fred Swayze, I think was his name before. Thank you for coming. All of you folks, thank you for being here and watching and participating. Please click like, click subscribe, and tell everybody about us. We will be back here next week at 9 o'clock. Thank you all for being here. Dave, Got any final words?
Bucks win. Beat the Titans. Go Bucks.
Oh, let's do that quick. Slick, what you got?
But,
you want to save it for your show? Save that one.
I'll save it for mine because I need to have a look at the inactives and that kind of shit.
Yeah. All right, but I'm gonna join Dave and say we got this game, and I actually think this.
To be honest, I think we win every game because that's my philosophy. Until we lose it,
I don't say that. I told you last week.
Not in totality, never in totality, but more in the case of like if you ask me on the day, I always believe that we can win. So I'm like the Bucs are going to win because I have to think like that.
Last week I told you, it's not gonna be easy. I don't think this is. I had a bad.
I get you. But
this week, 10 to 14 point victory. It's gonna be one of our biggest victories of the year.
I hope so. Shit, take all that frustration out.
I didn't say that.
That's what I think.
I just want to win.
That's what I think's gonna happen. Look, that's what I think's gonna happen.
The Bucs 17-13. I know about this 14.
I would say 24 to 10. I'm gonna go with Rick on this one.
Yeah, I think 10 to 14 points.
I think the defense bounces back and slap the piss out of them, but hopefully. But my motto is not
24-13 if I'm gonna go guess now.
And what's his name? Their quarterback?
Will Levis.
Will Levis is not CJ Stroud. Okay, it's not CJ Stroud. So just stop thinking it's going to be like that. Guys, thank you for being here. This was a long freaking show. Holy cow. You guys are awesome. When you guys are here, the show is great. I love doing this stuff with you guys. All of you, Dave.
We appreciate you guys coming on to ours as well.
Exactly, as always.
Dave, you're the best co-host. Sorry, Slick. You got to deal with him.
I'm
joking, man.
I got my bro.
Look, you would be a hell of a defense attorney. Both need to take you to court. If you ever prosecuted, you need.
But he did say he went to his furniture store, so it was really exchanged.
Yeah, all they do is work at a furniture.
He gave him a really good tip.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did. He was one of my customers, so I gotta be good to him. No,
in there, you let me know. I'm gonna throw some cushions at him and say, "See,
yeah,
that don't work, huh? You didn't like that, did you?"
Awesome. I sold him some cushions. All right, guys, y'all have a great night. Thank you, everybody. Go Bucs! Go Bucs! Go Bucs!
Are you ready?
We sucked today. I sucked today. We sucked today. It was awful.